What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Blazers Uprise Live, powered by BetUS. Today, we have a little bit of a light show, Eric. We're going to talk about our favorites and our least favorites from the weekend. We're going to talk about Shaedon Sharpe dominating a Pro-Am. I'm kind of embarrassed to say what the Pro-Am is because I don't agree with a lot of his Twitter takes, but the ball don't stop Pro-Am. Also, we'll take a look at the Blazers' odds to win their NBA Cup pool. We're going to talk about Blazer workouts. Blazers being pictured together. It used to be Dame and Ant and McHale would always show up, and now we got a little bit of a different cast. We've got Blazer workouts. Also, at the end of this thing, we'll discuss an Anthony Simons trade idea that I found, Eric, and I have not looked at yet.
Yeah. What is this on?
I don't even want to say what team it's with because it's on like that team's website.
I meant like where you saw it.
Not what team. I don't know. I search Blazers and I search news. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's on Sports Illustrated actually, on like a specific Sports Illustrated page. The team is just very surprising, very surprising. Okay. But that's at the end of the show. At the start of the show, we always start with, Eric, how was your weekend and how are you doing?
Weekend was good. I'm doing well. How are you, Tori?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just
how's your knee doing?
Oh, I'm fine. It's the same thing I've dealt with for years.
Yeah. Just flaring up.
Yeah, just locking up, man. I mean, I would say, I'm getting old. My knee's starting to lock up, but actually it used to happen more in like high school. And then when I went and played in college, like I say played in college, quote unquote. College. So, yeah, obviously I didn't learn anything there, including how to pronounce the word college. But yeah, no, it's just stuff I've always dealt with. So, I shot around today. It was fine. I needed to get him moving. But yeah, I feel old, but I've felt old for a long time now. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I am just old.
Let's just jump into your favorites, Eric, because, you introduced this segment. I don't think we did it last Monday, but we did the Monday before.
I wasn't here last Monday, so...
Oh, yeah, you weren't here last Monday. Yeah. So you introduced this segment a couple weeks ago. Just... Chat can play along. Your favorite and least favorite thing from the weekend. It doesn't have to be sports-related, but of course it can be. So, chat... Let us know your favorite and least favorite thing from this past weekend. I'm curious just to see how your guys' weekend went. And Eric, what do you want to start with? Least favorite?
I'll start with least favorite because my most favorite will lead into our next topic. But my least favorite was, I know it was good that it rained, but we had a bit of a storm here in Portland. Not complaining about the weather, but it just the weekend was kind of bleh because of the weather.
Honestly, that might be my favorite. That might be my favorite thing. I love storms, man. I love storms. I was driving in Portland, like driving towards the thunderstorms in traffic, and it was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of nice, man. I like lightning. I like thunder. As a kid, I was like obsessed with hurricanes. So like, story time, as what was I, 9? Yeah, I was 9 years old. We went camping down at Cape Lookout. Shout out to any of you if you know what Cape Lookout is. We do this every year. I just got back from there like a week ago. Unfortunately, my tan has faded, though. But as a 9-year-old, 2005 was Hurricane Katrina, and I was like sitting in the car as a kid, like telling everybody how bad it was going to be, and like nobody believed me, and then... it was pretty dang bad, and I used to live in Louisiana, not New Orleans, but like west side of the state, so that's what got me to start paying attention to them. So I was a hurricane nerd. Like, I have it on my bucket list to ride out a hurricane and to see a tornado. Like, that is on my bucket list. So, hopefully it's not too dangerous. That might be the most dangerous thing I ever do. I'm not somebody who does dangerous things, but it's just on my bucket list to ride out a hurricane. So storms, that sort of stuff, I love it. Especially when it's just, I'm used to the sun, Eric. It's been sunny for months now, so I like a little detour.
Yeah. Is your favorite movie the new Twisters movie?
I have not watched it, which shouldn't surprise you, but also, like, every meteorological movie is always so unscientific.
Cringe.
Yeah.
You just have to drive out of the way of the hurricane or tornado, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Hurricanes are like 400 miles wide, so I don't know if it's that easy. Don't know if it's that easy, man. I'm trying to get in an eye of a hurricane. If I'm going
that's what the movies taught me. You just drive away.
Tornado's a little different. Tornado's a little smaller. But yeah, you definitely don't want to. If you need any life advice today, chat, don't end up in a tornado. Okay. Not good. Anyway, that was my favorite thing, Eric. My least favorite thing, because you want to segue this, right?
Yeah.
My least favorite thing, honestly, like, I did not have a bad weekend. There was really nothing. I mean, I will say this. The Mariners piss me off so freaking much, and I'm so done. I've turned off my ESPN notifications. Normally, I'd get notified every time the Mariners or the team they're playing score a run. I have officially had enough, and I've turned off my notifications, so I'm not even paying attention to games. And they were playing the Dodgers today. Borna, guy I work with at Hog Media, he's a Padres YouTuber, a Padres fan, and I have my notifications off. I'm not even paying attention to the game because I don't want to for my own mental health. And then I got this dude texting me like, your offense freaking sucks. It's like, dude, I know. I am disassociating. I'm trying to. But him being a Padres fan, of course, he's rooting against the Dodgers, and the Dodgers win, and they got somebody in our group chat like sending a Dodgers gift to me. Eric, we should not allow anybody in our group chat that is a fan of any Los Angeles team. That's just my opinion, but that's, little too harsh, right? And I guess we are San Francisco 49ers fans, but that's not as bad as LA. So that was my least favorite thing. I hate the freaking Mariners. They piss me off. I am so done. I am so, sometimes I wish I started a Mariners channel. Right now, I kind of wish I had a Mariners channel so I could have this rant over there and not have it on a Blazers channel because it doesn't make as much sense.
Well, that's what the segment's for, so you can get it out of your system a little bit.
You might be a better hitter than half their lineup.
I don't know. I'm not. Have you ever tried hitting the super fast speed of a batting cage?
No. I watched a video that was like a trick to how to swing the bat faster, and I really want to try it. I watched it like a year ago, and I really want to try it, but I have not held a baseball bat in that long, so.
It's hard. I mean, most people think that hitting a baseball at that level is one of the hardest things in sports to do. And I think that's pretty close.
Yeah, you're successful if you do it correctly 30% of the time. That's
well,
you shoot 30% from three. That's bad.
Of the time.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, listen. Anyway, enough talk about that. You're even wearing a Mariners color.
Yeah.
Need to make you change your shirt. It's pissing me off.
Sorry.
Anyway, your favorite thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Let me say a few from chat. Max Anderson touched grass this weekend, so I think that was his favorite thing.
Nice. You're our first person from chat to do that. Congratulations.
Madden Mobile's least favorite thing was going through Portland. Just has to be like that because that's who he is. Opal had COVID, so that was his least favorite thing. Hope you're feeling better. Arcade saw Donovan Clingan and Bryce McGowan's fishing over the weekend.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. He said that, in our Discord?
Yeah.
By the way, if you're not in our Discord, check out the link in the description box below. Gonna try and do some stuff this season with that. It's kind of dead over there, so we need some life in there. Join our Discord, but yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. All right, yeah.
My favorite thing was getting into Les Schwab an hour before they closed to get my overdue alignment. Oh, that reminds me. Les Schwab Invitational is moving to Portland State's gymnasium.
Ooh. I mean, it's good for more people. But...
Yeah, but the aura. It doesn't have the same aura,
Yeah, I really liked the fact that it was just in a small gym.
Yeah.
Literally 2 minutes from where I grew up. It's kind of sad that it's not going to be there anymore.
Anyway, Eric, time for your favorite thing from this past week.
My favorite thing over the weekend was seeing Shaedon Sharpe just play the game of basketball, be on the court, look healthy, and I was excited to actually see him play, even if it was a fake game, to play in a game because it has been a while, and we saw that he was held out from competing for a spot on the Canadian Olympic team. He did some practicing and training with them, but didn't ultimately have a chance to make the roster because of the injury. We know he missed 50 games last year. It was just good to see him out there playing and looking relatively healthy.
Yeah. I mean, just seeing any clips of basketball right now, at least Blazer basketball, it's a little different just because it's been 4 months. It's over 4 months since we last saw some Blazer basketball, and I'm not counting Summer League, okay, because beyond Donovan Clingan, that was a disaster class. So, yeah. My question for you, Eric, is based on Shaedon Sharpe's recent performance in the Ball Don't Stop Canadian Pro-Am, is he ready to break out into an NBA All-Star? Very serious question.
Yes. Well, for one, for those that don't know, so the Pro-Am, he scored 43 points. There's a pretty cool highlight video of all his baskets out there. I think it's on the Ball Don't Stop Twitter page.
No defense.
Yeah, that was gonna be what I said. It's hard to take too much from it because it didn't look like anyone was playing defense. Like anytime he turned the corner and dunked the ball, like it was like the seas were parting for him. So yeah, you can't really read too much into it, but he does have a bag, man. He's got some really interesting moves that are like star level moves. Step back three, sidestep three. He's got a pretty quick first step. Near the rim, it looked like he was attacking the basket instead of some of the things he was doing earlier in his career where he was kind of going at low angles and not really using his athleticism to his advantage. So I'm not reading into just the fact that he scored 43 points, but I liked how he just looked like he was moving and some of the ball handling. We know he's been a little sloppy with the ball his first couple of years as well. He just looked really comfortable, and it kind of eased some of my concerns about him. Just seeing him be like this locked in, I was a little worried that the injury he would have been a little rusty, a little out of shape. Wouldn't have been able to work on some of the stuff he needed to work on as much as he would have been if he was healthy. And so it was good to see him out there. I feel much better just seeing him play about his chances this season of breaking out. I won't say that it will happen. I don't know. I mean, chances are he's not going to fully break out this season, at least. But I do feel much more comfortable saying he's going to have a good season, and I think he'll be ready from the jump. Hopefully, completely healthy.
Listen, Mitchell Robinson in off-season clips looked like a ball handler. I like the way he was moving, given that he's coming off core surgery. That part I like. Everything else, can't really read too much into it, because, I mean, he's an NBA player. You'd be impressed and I know you know this, I'm saying this kind of to chat. Mm-hmm. You'd be impressed by what players can do that like aren't ball handlers at the NBA level, but then they get in like a summer run or even play against college players, and you'd be impressed what they can do with the dribble, what they can do with the ball. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Like, Sharpe's ascension is going to be interesting because I do agree that he has star-level moves in a bit of a bag, right? But I think the biggest difference between just, this guy can score the ball and this dude is a star is, with a guy like Sharpe, it's like, I feel like his star-level moves come in the flow, which is completely fine, which isn't a bad thing at all. But the stars can do it against the best defenders when you put the ball in their hands, and they can do it in isolation, consistently, right? And they can consistently beat elite defenders. Can Sharpe, like, if Sharpe's ever going to become a star, he needs to get so good at his off-the-dribble game, footwork, strength, etc., all of that, where you can put the ball in his hands and he can actually consistently produce against top-level defenders. Because one thing to catch the ball on the wing, guy closing out, pump fake, sidestep. It's a different thing to put the ball in your hands and you got Jonathan Isaac guarding you or Drew Holiday guarding you, and you have to go make something happen against them.
Yeah.
So the biggest, encouraging thing for Sharpe's hopeful ascension to stardom would be him doing these things against elite defenders. That's what I want to see. Because we know he can, but it's a little different to do it consistently against elite defenders.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think, the way he's able to shoot, I mean, I'm not comparing him to Kobe, but, he's got that little turnaround jumper that's, really hard to stop if you're hitting it. And I think that is a weapon against, really good defenders. So, that's why I think he has star-type moves. It's just because, you need that kind of move that you can score on some of the best defenders, and I don't see many people able to stop that if he's hitting it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Efficiency last year was a bit rough, so that's also part of what to look for next season is him just ultimately becoming more efficient on tough shots. Because that's kind of the thing we saw last year, is when he was hot, he would hit these tough shots and have efficient nights and just look phenomenal. But then he'd have nights where he was just brutal from the field and shooting some of these shots, and it was like, man, you were left with, I don't know, after the game, a lot of our post-game shows is like, dang, I feel like he shot a ton of tough shots tonight. Mm-hmm. And some of that is us lamenting Portland's lack of a structure offensively, not being able to generate him clean looks, good shots, and how much this team had to do stuff out of isolation. They had the lowest assist percentage in the league last year. But, that's what made Dame great, is he could consistently hit those tough shots. Not just, he'll get hot and hit those tough shots sometimes and look like a superstar sometimes, and then he'll have brutal shooting nights, and at the end of the season you look at his shooting percentage, he's shooting 33% from three, right? So, I don't expect Sharpe to be there yet, so this is not a knock or a criticism. It's more so this is this is what he has to do in order to take those next steps. He has to hit some of those tough shots that we know he can make. He has to make them consistently, and there's just a big difference between making them sometimes and making them consistently.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of unfair to compare because Dame played with it for years and was obviously an elite player, but you do wonder how much that core injury did factor into his efficiency issues and some of his problems last year. If that was one of the reasons why, or if that just is a timely excuse.
I mean, if we had seen him do it before, then sure, right? Like with Dame, the year he got his core surgery, A, you could tell it was bothering him. I didn't really have that feeling with Sharpe. B, he took a step back. With Sharpe, it's tricky because it's so young in his career. I'm not going to, use that as necessarily an excuse when we're, talking about something he's never done before. Because it could very well be, yeah, he's not breaking out into a all-star in year 2 at 20 years old after not playing a year in college, right? That would be more of the outlier to me. a season like last year on some of the shots he took is kind of to be expected from a player that's 20 years old taking that shot diet. So ultimately, like, I didn't, I thought there was stretches where he was a bit tired due to Chauncey playing him like 40 minutes a game in 5 out of 6 game stretches. Like, you could tell he kind of got fatigued because basically it was, oh, we're not starting him to start the year. We're starting Matisse Thybulle, which is just freaking ridiculous, right? And then Simons gets hurt, so Sharpe starts, and then Sharpe would play phenomenal, and then Chauncey's like, oh, gotta keep this guy on the floor for 42 minutes a game because we gotta try and win as many games as possible, which was kind of ludicrous. He did that with Jeremy at times, Chauncey's had that issue in seasons where you knew it wasn't going to, last season you knew they were going to be in the lottery and trying to lose games at the end of the year, so it didn't make sense to play players in 40 minutes in games that you were losing anyway to start the year, but he still did it with Sharpe, and then, he kind of tailed off after these stretches. But at the end of the day, it's I'm not even really, like, looking behind. I'm looking forward. This is what he has to do. This is what he needs to get better at. The ball handling, especially. But then also just working on getting even better at breaking down elite defenders, because I think he has the bag. I think he can hit a bunch of difficult shots, but only the best offensive players can consistently beat elite defenders. That's why they're superstars. And that's a select few people in the world that can consistently beat elite defenders at the NBA level. So I don't expect Sharpe to consistently beat elite defenders this year. I just want to see progress towards that. And that's part of the reason why, like, we've had the conversations about who starts if they don't trade anyone. That's part of the reason why I think Sharpe needs to start. And also part of the reason where it's like if Ant got traded, then the best perimeter defender, who are they guarding? It might be Shaedon Sharpe. I don't think that would be a bad thing for him. I think that would be a good thing for him, right? So that's where you get into the conversation about maybe they have too many players that need the ball in their hands for being such a bad team. But regardless, I want to see him challenged to create out of isolation more so than any other player. I don't want this team to be ISO heavy, but for him, I want to see him grow in that department against elite defense.
Yeah, so I was just taking a look at some of his splits last year. He played over 40 minutes 10 times in 32 games.
Yeah.
Almost a third of his games were over 40 minutes. That's ridiculous.
Crazy.
Is this a positive thing, though? His most efficient group of games was when he played over 40 minutes. Now, some of that might have been because he was playing well in those games, and that's why he played over 40 minutes. But in those 10 games, he did shoot almost 40% from 3, 39.7, and 45% from the field, a true shooting percentage of 58%. 22, almost 23 points per game, 5 rebounds, almost 4 assists. That's pretty dang good numbers for a second-year player. And then he gets hurt, and some of his efficiency when he only played 32 games, and he's in and out of the lineup there for a little bit in December and January. Some of that could have just been the injury, in my opinion.
The problem is with picking a sample like that, okay, the 22 games where he didn't play 40 minutes a game, how bad were his efficiency splits then?
Yeah, well, he played
that means he shot like 28% from 3 or something like that in games where he didn't play 40 minutes.
Well, this is so under 30 minutes. He had 11 games, and he shot 22% from 3 in those games.
Yeah, so he plays less when he misses shots.
But that also might be games where he didn't finish or was hurt or didn't. You know what I mean? Like he was struggling to play there for a while, and he didn't finish a few games. So
yeah, I just think the point is like Chauncey ran him into the ground when he was playing.
Oh, of course, yeah. You'd like to see him in the lower 30 minutes, like 32, 33 minutes a game this year, with that same efficiency that he had playing the 40 minutes would be perfect, I think, for his third year. Ultimately, I hope he's better than that move down the road, but if you tell me he's a nearly 40% three-point shooter and average like 23 points per game this year, I would definitely take that.
Yeah, absolutely. Comment in chat says, Ant said recently in an interview that he feels most comfortable not playing off the ball. I mean, here's the thing. Part of it is our offense. No one is comfortable off the ball because nothing's happening off the ball. It's right. a lot of watching ISO ball, and it's tough to get a rhythm off the ball in our offense just because there's like no flow to it. So I would expect Jeremy Grant, Anthony Simons, like basically every ball handler in this offense to feel more comfortable with the ball in their hands, trying to make something happen, than standing off the ball, like waiting for something to happen. There's just no rhythm to our half-court offense, and it's not like we got out and ran as much as we should have last year. So I still think like Ant could be really good off the ball, but it's like how many opportunities is he getting curling off of screens, right? Like we used to run more of those actions, I felt like, earlier in his career when he was just a shooter, but now it's, he's a creator now. We're just going to constantly give him the ball, constantly ISO him. So that's something that I want to see improve this year. I think you have multiple young players that need to learn how to play with the ball in their hands while also finding a rhythm off the ball at the same time, because ultimately when this team is good, you're going to have multiple guys that can do things with the ball in their hands, and they all have to coexist next to each other. So you got to be able to do both. That's just where you need a little bit more structure, a little bit less ISO ball, where players can make plays and use their skill sets as creators out of that offense, out of whatever you're running, right? They can make reads out of whatever you're running. But at the end of the day, it's not, we're not running anything. Jeremy's going to take 5-6 in and out dribbles and then shoot a mid-range pull-up after not going anywhere with any of those dribbles while everybody stands around and watches him. So hopefully with them bringing in new assistant coaches, hopefully there is an improvement in that. We'll just have to wait and see, though.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the extreme example, but imagine if the Golden State Warriors were just like, Curry feels better with the ball in his hands, so we're just not going to play him off ball.
Yeah.
That literally led to MVP performances when he learned how to play off ball and get comfortable doing both. I'm sure he still likes to have the ball in his hands a lot, but he also learned the value of being able to be a threat off the ball, and that transformed him from a really good player into one of the best players of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you have anything else on Shaedon Sharpe?
No, just really excited that we got to see him play. I feel like this I don't think he plays in that game if there's any concern about him and his injury still. So I'm just really happy that he seemingly should be able to hit the ground running in training camp, and we shouldn't have to worry about anything with his stomach or anything.
Yep. 100% hoping for good health this upcoming season. And speaking of this upcoming season, Blazers Uprise Live is sponsored by BetUS. And Eric, we talked about it on, I believe, our last stream. Mm-hmm. But now we got a graphic for it. The Blazers are a whopping plus 4,000 to win their NBA Cup group. It used to be the NBA in-season tournament. Now it's NBA Cup. People still calling it the in-season tournament. You guys know what it is. Second annual in-season tournament. Blazers are as much of a long shot to win their pool as anybody. And this plus 4,000 is just insane to see, because outside of the Timberwolves, Timberwolves are going to be really hard to beat, but then again, the Blazers do have them at home. I don't think any of the following three teams are top 7 teams in the West, maybe not even top 8. I think the Kings, Clippers, Rockets are all playing caliber at best. So the Blazers, maybe they're a little bit better. Maybe they could win this group, and with BetUS, they're giving you a promotion of 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. So if your first deposit, you deposit $100, you get $125 on top of that. So that basically makes your $100 deposit $225, which then if you throw it down on the Blazers, $225 wins you $9,000 if the Blazers win their pool. So just by putting in that 100, taking advantage of that 125% bonus with the plus 4,000 odds, you can put in $100 and could win $9,000 on BetUS if the Blazers just simply win their pool. Just simply win their pool. So if you guys want that promotion, check out the link in the description box below. It helps out the channel, and you can get in on the action with BetUS. And I hope some of you do it, because I would love to be sitting here approaching that in-season tournament game with a playoff feel to it. I want you guys to be invested, because ultimately, Eric, like, this season, how much do we have to be invested in?
Right.
Like, that's something. At least it's something, right? And listen, they have the Timberwolves first, which I like, and they have them at home, which I like. So if they're amped up, young team, like, we've seen the Blazers, like scrubs in Shaedon Sharpe's rookie year, beat the Timberwolves on the road. The Timberwolves are obviously much better last year, but we've seen Shaedon Sharpe, like, dominate Rudy Gobert and Anthony Edwards and, like, lead a cast of scrubs to a win against Minnesota. I don't know, man. I think the Blazers have better odds than this to win this pool. Obviously, they should not be favored, but plus 4,000, it's insane to me.
Yeah.
Insane to me. That's such an insane spread. Good value.
Yeah, when you said that last stream, I was surprised, because with only 5 teams in a group, I would think the chances of just something weird or chaos happening, or as of right now, you don't know how healthy any of these teams are going to be when those games are played. So the Blazers could have the opposite luck of what they usually have, and, you know, get teams that have injuries, and they could be relatively healthy. So yeah, I think if you're gonna place a bet on them, I think this is probably the most fun and the best value for this season. And but yeah, I mean, we said this last stream, but don't bet anything you can't afford to lose, because it is a long shot that they win the group. But yeah, it's kind of a fun bet.
It's a fun long shot, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun long shot. $100 to get $4,000. That's like, even in Portland, that's like a month and a half of rent. Don't gamble to pay your rent, okay? But have some fun. And this is something that's fun. Long shot bets are fun, especially with your Portland Trailblazers. So if you want to get in on the fun, make sure you use that link in the description box below with BetUS. Please bet responsibly. Shout out to them for sponsoring Blazers Uprise Live. Now, Eric, we get to talk about working out. Pumping iron. No, just kidding. I don't. Maybe they did pump some iron. I'm not sure. But there was
something Tory's against.
Wow. That's hurtful.
Well, it's true, isn't it?
I'm against lifting weights?
Yeah, don't you not like it?
I don't not like it. Just because I don't do it enough doesn't mean I'm against it.
Okay.
Chat, Eric's I'm just getting shots from Eric for no reason. What in the world?
I swear you said before that you didn't believe in lifting weights or something like that. I don't know. Never mind.
Chat, Eric's inventing things. I don't know what the hell this dude's talking about. Not only does he wear a Mariners color on stream, which is disgusting, he then goes and takes shots of me. This is...
Yeah. Oh, sorry. That was mean. I'm sorry.
I already have freaking Borna coming in my chat annoying me about it. I literally had to text him like, chill, dude, because he's doing too much. So, anyway, Eric, my intro segue to this segment is screwed. So, you talk now.
All right, so Eric Musselman is the former coach of Arkansas, who in the offseason is now the coach of USC, has been posting pictures of players working out at USC. And today he posted a picture of Donovan Clayton, Chris Murray, Scoot Henderson, Devontae Graham, Delano Banton, and Ryan Repair, all there together working out on USC's campus, and it looked like several of the coaching staff there as well.
Eric, I have one big takeaway from this. But first, do you have any takeaways?
Tyler James, there was the segue. Muscle man, very on brand.
True.
There we go.
True. Should hire you to do my segues.
Yeah. So I think it's good to see people working out together and doing that in the off season. I always like that when
you
people...
like watching people working out together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's basketball.
You know what my big takeaway is?
Nothing.
No, I have one.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm joking or not. What do you think it is?
That Eric Musselman's trying to prop up USC.
No. You know what it is? The Devontae Graham veteran mentorship is already underway.
Yes, there we go.
Scoot and Devontae Graham were there. Notice who wasn't there? Anthony Simons and Shaedon Sharpe. So that means Scoot is Devontae Graham's sophomore, because he's not rookie anymore. He's not Graham's rookie. He's Graham's sophomore, okay? And the veteran mentorship is underway, which means Graham's on the roster next season.
And happy birthday to Chris Murray, who turned 24 today. He's a vet now, right? 24 years old.
Yeah, I don't know. He's something, Eric. He's something.
Is he the second oldest guy there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because he's not older, or he's not younger than Klingon Scoot. How old's Banton? He's not younger than Repair.
Banton was multi-year college guy, so Banton might be older. Banton age. Delano Banton is 24 years old. Turned 24 last November, so Banton's older.
Okay. Darn it.
Banton's older. But listen, you know what's funny is like the Devontae Graham thing. Like, I'm pretty much joking, but also there's a greater than non-zero chance that everything I said is like 1,000% on point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
why else would they bring in Devontae Graham? I mean, it's a scoring guard. Like, Scoot needs to score the ball better, right? I don't know.
I just don't know. I mean, it'd be kind of bold of Graham to get everyone to work out at USC. I don't know where that.
No, I'm not saying he got him to work out. I'm just saying, he working out with Scoot. So
I think it's good that he's there with them. Yeah.
Yeah, just weird. Just weird. Like, those pictures used to be like so cool. It's like Dame and Ant and McHale. Like, man, what if we could just get McHale? Then maybe we can win. And now it's like, oh, look, Devontae Graham's there.
Yeah. Well, they used to do the team trips before training camp started. I know the last couple of years they've gone to, Santa Barbara or something.
Yeah.
During training camp.
They didn't do that last year, though, did they?
I thought they did. Maybe they did last year. Maybe it was 2 years ago.
Let's get credentialed this year, Eric.
All right.
Just to go to Santa Barbara. Just to take that trip.
Send Eric to Santa Barbara.
Send Eric to Santa Barbara. Yeah, we have... I don't know where the hell we're going to get the budget for that, but Bet US sponsored trip. You just have to vlog.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know. I'm getting closer to like, man, I kind of want to get credentialed, if possible, which is probably impossible. But I just like you know the main reason I want to get credentialed. I just want like clips of interviews and like to be able to just like put them in the footage with like
play your own.
Yeah, just like own recording. Mm-hmm. That is the main reason. Like, bro, I will send an intern to go record interviews and not even ask any questions if I need to, right? Like somebody that wants experience though, like working in that space, you know, good internship opportunity or something like that. I do just to have the clips, just to plug them into like post-game shows here or there, like do live look-ins to the locker room or just something like that. It would just change things a little bit, but you know, we were a little mean to Joe Cronin once, and you know, who knows? But maybe one day, maybe next ownership GM combination, maybe we'll succeed and realize our dreams, Eric.
Yeah, maybe.
Trevor, only once. All right. Let's jump into this trade idea. I have not seen this trade idea. This is something we like to do during the offseason when we're struggling to find things to talk about. Okay. An Anthony Simons trade idea. The title of the article, Eric, says, this Cleveland Cavaliers trade would bring in a dynamic scorer.
Wow. Okay.
Told you it was not a team that you would expect.
See, I've heard some outside kind of very distant rumors about them being interested in Jeremy Grant and that being a potential, but I've never thought about Ant with Mitchell and Garland still there already.
He coming off the bench, I guess.
Unless one of them is going to Mitchell can't be traded unless Garland's going to a third team or something.
3-guard lineup.
I guess they have the two bigs to try and pull it off.
It would just be funny, man. Like, that's a smaller 3-guard lineup than ours was, I think. Although Norm's pretty small. He has long wingspan though. Offensively that would be interesting. So yeah, let's see what they have. This is by Evan Massey, by the way. I recognize his name. So maybe he's plugged in. I don't know. This article says, while the NBA offseason was a very quiet one for the Cleveland Cavaliers, they have been able to get quite a bit of internal work done. Dude, wait. You know who's on the Cavs?
Your boy.
My boy. My guy.
Karis LeVert.
Hell no. Hell no. The better version of Karis LeVert.
Yeah, I know. You got the 20th pick from the NBA draft.
Yeah. Jalen Tyson. Better be Jalen Tyson, at least a first-round pick. I might rather have Jalen Tyson than Anthony Black, not going to lie. But let's see what this is. Do you agree? Do you agree with that? Because I know you're an Anthony Black hater.
Yes, I would rather have. Tyson. Yeah.
Yeah, I respect that. One name to keep an eye on is Anthony Simons. There's been rumors this offseason that the Blazers could be open to moving him in the right deal. If that is indeed the case, the Cavs should reach out and throw an offer at them. Simons would be a massive addition for Cleveland and could come in either as a starter or a sixth man.
I don't see him starting on the team.
Oh my god, this trade!
Nice.
I
can't wait now.
I wish I read it. I wish I just read it. Oh my god. This is something you would find on Reddit, but like worse. Alright? So, the Cleveland Cavaliers receive Anthony Simons, and the Portland Trail Blazers receive Karis LeVert.
Yeah. Well, it's got to match salary, I guess.
Dean Wade. A 2025 second-round pick. And a 2028 second-round pick.
What? So, Dean Wade in 2
Karis
seconds.
LeVert in 2 seconds.
What?
Oh, man. That's disgusting. Not only is there no Tyson in that, but there's not even a first-round pick. Hell no. Would you do this trade, chat?
What the heck is that trade? I mean, there's not even a good player in it.
Yeah, I know. Chat,
what the heck are you bringing us, Tori?
Dude, I did not see this. See, this is the fun part, is legitimately, my reaction to it was like, because it was the first time I saw this trade.
Mm-hmm.
It would be boring if it was like, oh, there's an awful trade idea for Anthony Simons. Because then it's like, why are we even talking about it? But instead, it's like, we're going to talk about a trade idea we have not seen. Let's see what it is. A little more fun. That was disgusting, though. Absolutely disgusting. Let's see the reasoning for the Blazers, though.
I mean, what did we...
There is literally no reasoning for the Blazers in this article.
I mean, Karis LeVert and Dean Wade don't factor in at all for us, right? Whether you like them as players, we shouldn't be considering players like that for our particular situation. And then you get 2 seconds, like that's, yeah.
I wish in this poll you could set an option where if people click that option, it would permaban them.
That's it. 21% of you need to explain yourself.
21% of you need to seek help.
Even if you want to get rid of Anthony.
Like, what are you accomplishing?
We got a big Karis LeVert fan or something in chat.
Bro, listen. If y'all hate the way Anthony plays, you will despise Karis LeVert more than Anthony Simons. Like, you will hate Karis LeVert. If you don't like Ant, getting Karis LeVert back is not in a trade for him as like the only meaningful piece. I guess Dean Wade is okay, but I mean, what are we doing with Dean Wade in a rebuild, right? Like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? I feel like 19% of people that voted yes just did it to troll us, Eric.
Yeah, probably.
That's my only logical conclusion. See, I'd made this poll thinking, man, we're going to have like 30 votes and 100% of people say no. Janie says the outside media views Simons quite badly, it seems. I mean, show me another trade idea where like you can get a young guy coming off a season where he averaged 22 and 5 for like a mediocre contract at best. Like, Karis LeVert's not good in 2 second-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there any trade idea you've ever seen that is comparable to that? Because listen, if I see a guy on a team that averaged 22 and 5 and like can really shoot the ball and is 24 years old, I'm not sitting there thinking, "Oh man, maybe they should trade him for 2 seconds." And a mediocre veteran in a rebuild. Like,
right.
No, it doesn't make any sense. It only happens to us. Those trade ideas only come our way for some reason.
Why is that?
Poole was the only one. That was because Draymond punched up. Poole never averaged 22 and 5. And Poole got paid more. And Poole fell off. Poole averaged 20 and 4 on bad efficiency. Or on bad three-point shooting. He shot 33% from 3. So, I don't know. And that was in an offense that was designed to get him, like, clean shots. Where, like, Ant's doing this against double teams.
Mm-hmm.
So... yeah. No. No way. No way.
I don't get that at all. Why? I'm still... Trevor says, are you sure that deal was not for Thibault and Murray?
Dude, I don't even know if I'd take it for... I don't even think I'd take it for Thibault and Murray. And that's like 90% not wanting Karis LeVert on this team.
I would do Wade for Thibault.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, I would do Thibault and Murray for Wade in 2 seconds. Wade's a good defender. I would rather use 2 seconds to dump the LeVert if we got... I just do not want Karis LeVert on this team. Just don't want... Watching him and Jeremy take turns shooting ISO mid-range jumpers would make me throw up on a nightly basis.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Anyway. Next Thursday, we'll probably have another trade idea, and we'll see if that one's a little better than this. Somehow we went from, like, Anthony Black or Jet Howard in a first-round pick, and, like, that not being good enough to now Karis LeVert in 2 seconds. So, listen, if that's the market for Anthony Simons, he's going to be here until he's a free agent.
Yeah.
So, like, he's not getting traded then.
Right.
Unless they use him like Brogdon and just use him as salary filler, Eric.
First round pick value.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway. We'll take questions. We'll be out of here in like 5. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Did you happen to see Chauncey Billups' comments on Rudy Gobert?
Oh, yeah, that he's like, I forget the way he phrased it, but like, how's this dude Defensive Player of the Year when he gets hunted in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Or something like that, yeah. Taylor says, I got 2 things you guys didn't mention. Apparently we have fired some people on our medical staff and got some new people in there. Yeah, like 4th time's the charm with all the injuries that we always deal with for year after year. See, that's the thing. People would just blame the medical staff, and it's just like, I mean, Ant, like, what, broke his hand? Like, how are they supposed to prevent that?
Right.
Maybe the core injuries that we keep dealing with, because we've had, what, 3? And then, GP2, we signed him when he had one. But, like, 3's a lot. I don't know. Maybe that's why. Maybe they were doing something wrong. I don't know, dude. But I never was sitting there. Like, people would blame the medical staff. Maybe there was a stream that somebody could dig up and find where I'm, like, mad the medical staff just because of our situation. Well, but, like, ultimately, it's just you deal with a lot of fluky stuff. Like, a lot of the injuries just aren't preventable.
There was the one where we foolishly played Hood.
Was that the same medical staff, though?
It wasn't the same medical staff.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying, like, that's the one I remember
100%.
You criticizing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a failure on multiple levels. I mean, you don't play a player with a sore Achilles in December.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, shocker, he tore it. That's what happens. So, and then, I still don't know how to say his name. Jackie Key is not with the team anymore, which sucks because I liked him. Yeah, I mean, they did not. They signed him to an Exhibit 10. It's weird because teams will sign guys to Exhibit 10s and then not actually, like, use them in Summer League. And we signed him to an Exhibit 10, and then we barely play him. In his first stint, he looked good, so I didn't really understand the whole point behind all that, but oh well.
Yeah, I guess no loss, but yeah, it's kind of weird when you sign someone to an Exhibit 10 and then don't bring him on at all. I don't know.
Agreed. Oh yeah, people have asked me about Henry Drell.
Oh yeah.
Training camp invite. I have no thoughts.
Did we pick him up?
Did
we drop Jackie? No, I mean, I'm just wondering if we dropped when Jackie left the team, if that's when that happened.
I don't know. It seemed like he was gonna leave for weeks, so I don't think they're related. But is it an E10 deal for Drell too?
Yeah.
So he's never gonna play in the preseason. I mean, here's the thing with Exhibit 10s that I just don't understand, Eric. Like, he's not going to be on the main roster. And can't you cut two-way players at any time and not owe them anything?
Yeah.
So why did they sign him to an Exhibit 10 instead of just a two-way? Like, there has to be some difference there, right?
Yeah, I think the only difference is it's basically the player is agreeing ahead of time that he has to sign the two-way if you accept it with an E10. So you don't have to do it. I don't know. Maybe you have to pay him more in training camp or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Because he's a two-way guy or he's in, maybe he plays for the remix and isn't even on a two-way, but that's the only two options for him being with this organization.
I kind of like Drell in his draft, but as Taylor points out, he just hasn't been good shooting the three, and that's something that could, if he ever figures that out, could set him apart, but I have a hard time believing someone just all of a sudden figures out a three-point shot 3 or 4 years into the league.
Yeah. Especially when even if he becomes an okay shooter, he still might not be an NBA player. Like, what else does he do? So, yeah. I don't know. Like, you got to try and find gems with the two-way. He just does not seem like someone that has even a chance at popping to me.
Yeah.
So.
Someone digged up an old tweet of Schmidt's really liking him.
I know, yeah. I mean, we should be trying to predict who they're going to sign to an Exhibit 10 next. But, yeah, man. Good stream, good quick stream. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We're going to be live again on Thursday, and if there's any news, we'll talk about it. If not, we'll find fun things to talk about. We'll talk about, any trade ideas out there on the internet. We'll react to them live. That's always fun. Coming up, I want to do a Would You Rather stream, which we've done in previous off seasons, which could be a lot of fun. So that'll be on a dead news day. And then also maybe a stream where we talk about, like, the number one thing each player needs to improve going into next season. And, because we can sit here and talk about, oh, this player needs to improve at XYZ. Okay, but what's the number one thing they need to improve at? So we'll have a stream like that. So even on a dead news day, Mondays and Thursdays, even if nothing's happening, we'll find fun stuff to talk about. And, it'll be interactive with you guys as well. So make sure you tune in Mondays and Thursdays throughout the rest of the off season. And, man, preseason games are a month and a half away. Training camp's like a month and a half away. Preseason game, first one is October 11th, so a little less than 2 months. So that's exciting. Eric, any final words?
Can't believe August is almost over, man. It's crazy.
I know. We have our fantasy draft, which we will stream on Sunday, September 1st. We will stream that on our second channel, Blazers Uprise Podcast, down in the description box below. So make sure you subscribe to that second channel.
I have my fantasy draft for my keeper league on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm in a keeper league now too, so we'll see how that goes. But we finally locked in our draft order today. I've already traded draft picks today, so I really am wheeling and dealing at all times.
Why did Chase do that trade?
Because I gave him 6 free agent budget on top of it.
It still didn't seem like.
I mean, he moves up in 3 later rounds and only moves down 2 in the first round. Like,
I know, but it
just depends on how you tier players.
The first 2, huh?
The difference between 8 and 6 can mean a lot to somebody if they have like a top 7 that they think is going to go top 7, like me, and mean something else to somebody who has like 6 through 8 pretty evenly ranked.
Yeah, but still, I mean, moving up 2 spots in the middle rounds isn't really that big of a deal.
Listen, I've been sniped so many times that I don't really agree with that. I don't really agree with that.
Of course you're going to defend Chase here.
Yeah, bro, you know how many streams I'm like, damn, you took my guy like a pick before me. Because we're always on VC. It happens. Plus 6 free agent budget. I had to sweeten the pot a little bit. So, anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Appreciate BetUS for sponsoring this edition of Blazers Uprise Live. Check out the link in the description box below, and you can get in on this crazy West Group A winner line. They'll give you 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. So shout out to them for sponsoring the stream. And we are out of here. I'm looking forward to some of the streams we have planned through the rest of August and September. But I'd also love some freaking news, Eric. Or a rumor, or just something juicy to talk about.
What?
We'll be here regardless, and it sounds like things are about to pop off in your household, so I am out of here.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
We'll catch you next time. Until then, as always, peace out. Go Blazers!